National School Choice Week began on Sunday. Thousands of events are planned coast to coast, like the open house is happening at middle and high schools here in Omaha. Well, this morning we're talking about the connection between choice and graduation rates. Andrew Campanella is the president of National School Choice Week, and he's joined us a few times this January. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, so what questions should parents ask when looking for a new school? Let's say they're going to some of those open houses that are happening now.
Sure. The first thing parents need to remember, and everybody knows this, is that every child is unique and different, and every child has different learning needs. So parents want to match their kids up with schools that meet their needs. So the question parents need to ask themselves is, what type of school will be the right environment where my child will feel safe, comfortable, and inspired to learn? When you start visiting schools, here are some questions you can ask on your tours. What's the school's mission? Do they use any specific instructional style? What are the expectations the school has for my child? And how will the school work to encourage parents to stay involved? You also want to ask anything that might be particular or specific to your family. For example, how the school addresses bullying, what type of tests are given, things like that. And
you say that being in the right school is important, and you point to what happens when students aren't. So what have you seen?
Sure. Well, we find that when students are not in the right education environment for them, doesn't necessarily mean the school is a bad school, but it's not right for them. So we find that they're not happy and they're not learning. And here are some of the signs that doctors and experts say you should look out for to find out if your child is not in a good environment. Number one, do they always say they hate going to school and can never point to a reason why? Number two, have they stopped making friends and stopped trying to make friends? And number three, do they not like learning any subject or not interested in any activity, course, or extracurricular? If you answer yes to one of those three, you might want to look at other options for your child's education.
What are the consequences, Andrew, for students, families, and communities when students get to the point they're so frustrated, they're not getting anything out of school, they decide to drop out? What do you know long-term about the consequences of that decision?
Well, there are four things that we know about what happens when students do not get a high school diploma. Number one, they're less likely to get a job, and they will earn over their lifetimes $100,000 to $200,000 less than their peers who did graduate. Number two, they're less likely to vote and be involved in their communities. Number three, they're less likely to be involved in nonprofit work, churches, family activities, things like that. And number four, they're more likely to be arrested and be involved in crime. So we need to make sure children get across the finish line of graduation, and it's so important that parents work with teachers to make that happen.
I feel like I'm asking you to perform a miracle here, but in less than a minute, what do you think can be done to get more students to graduate from high school?
Well, we need more school choice options, not just in Nebraska, but all across the country. Parents need to be able to choose the best education options for their kids. Traditional public schools, public charter schools, magnet schools, private schools, online academies, homeschooling. They need the full range of options.
Is there one website, Andrew? I see a hashtag over your shoulder. Otherwise, is there a site where our viewers can learn more about what's happening this week?
Absolutely. SchoolChoiceWeek.com.
Okay, Andrew. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Mike?